Shout out M Easy and tune in to the sit down.
Doesn't do it easy. That's what I'm doing.
Right? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the sit down. It's your guy M Easy. Something like a Luke Fly talk out here. Across from me is Miss Bobbi Storm.
Hello.
I met Miss Bobbi Storm at a charity basketball game a couple months ago. She was a nice young lady, and I was decided, let me see what she's up to. She's been singing, I see on the Instagram, so I was like, let's get her up here for an interview. She's out here in the streets. Why not? Bobbi, how you doing?
I'm great. Excited to be here today. Really.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Where should we start?
Oh, it just depends on where you want to start.
I never noticed the accent before, and I was asking you off camera, where are you from?
I'm from Detroit, Michigan.
So that's the home of Motown.
Yes, it is.
So
yes, it is.
Is it fair to say that's where you got some of your soul from, or most of it?
Honestly, not really. No.
Really?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, I think it's in my blood because that's
Okay.
where I came from. But I learned how to sing from a flute. Nobody in my family can sing. I grew up Catholic. We sang boring hymnals, and it just really. I think I was just blessed. I think he just touched me.
Okay. Bobbi Storm is in the building. This your guy, I'm Easy. Bobbi Storm can't be your real name.
No, Stephanie.
Stephanie. Wow, that's
Stephanie.
so funny. That name just
Night
keeps
and
coming
day.
up.
You got something going on in those
so what made you become Bobbi Storm?
So I was in a singing group. That's where it started.
How old were you then?
I want to say there were a number of singing groups. There was one with Murder Inc. There was one with some girls from Detroit, and then there was another one that was actually affiliated with T.R. Marie, and she wasn't in the group. She was over the group, kind of trying to be.
I sense some animosity.
No animosity.
No?
Just nothing worth talking about.
Heard you.
So basically, it started from me disconnecting myself from previous situations when I got in the last group, which was called 87, and we all kind of wanted to disconnect ourselves from previous situations. So they were like, let's come up with new aliases. And I play basketball. I'm kind of the tomboy, sporty, sexy chick. So they were like, we were sitting in my grandfather's room, and they were like, how about you be a unisex name? So it was between Bobby and Devin, and I went Bobbi. And then my grandfather died, and I had a lot of white hair coming in because it's real hereditary in our family. It starts at a very young age.
I was like, you're not that old to be having grays. Don't do that.
Yeah, no, it starts in 8th grade in our family. My grandfather's hair was all white. They called him the Colonel.
Oh, wow.
Like, seriously, it's in our family. So when I had, during that time, it was stressful, so I had more coming in. And then I think I just wanted to be something for Halloween. And I was like, okay, last minute, I could be Amber. And I dyed it white. And then I went on stage to perform one time, and a friend of mine was like, okay, Storm, I see you. So I did like a poll on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and was like, should I add Storm to my last name? And everybody was like, yeah. And from there, I met Jill Scott when I went and sang with Eric Benet one time, and she was like, you have the best brand name, like you're Storm Chasers. The storm is coming. Keep that. And from that, I was like, all right, well, if this queen says that, I'm going to go ahead and rock with it.
Absolutely. Bobbi Storm's in the building. It's just to sit down, and she got easy. You started to name drop some big names right there. Who are some of the people that you've worked with that have made a big influence on you?
Well, I've worked with Troy Taylor. He found Trey Songz and started his whole career. Did Sweet Lady with Tyrese. He's doing the music, over the production over at Star with another.
Weren't you on Star?
I was on Star.
Which season?
Last season.
Okay, what was your character on Star?
I was a girl in the bar singing, sitting up real sexy, like, you know I do. And I was just singing, and Star was having a moment where she was going through this part in the show where she was envisioning everybody being her mother. So she was having daydreams kind of because her mother passed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she kind of saw me up there, and that was the introduction to the song that later on her and her mother sang in the show.
Gotcha. Did you enjoy the acting? Did the acting bug bite you yet?
You know what was crazy? Oh, yeah, definitely. I need to be all over that screen.
Oh, listen,
I do.
It's amazing.
I have to. I love it. You know what's crazy? When I got up there, I didn't even get the scene overview until I got finished with my makeup and was in the trailer. I didn't even know.
Hold on. So
I
you
just
mean?
recorded the song first.
Oh, okay.
And so I got there and to record it, and they gave me the treatment like right before.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the director for that day, a woman, she's done a lot of stuff. I feel so stupid I don't know her name, but I think she thought I already was an actress because she got mad at me. So I got up on where the scene was. I sat up on the stool, and I didn't know. I just read what it was supposed to say, like I'm supposed to sing and then look over. So I asked her, like, when am I supposed to look over? And she goes, you just sit there and sing. And so Star goes, she's actually supposed to look over at me. Jude is her real name. And so she goes, okay, well, you start singing. She'll come up to the door and you just look over. So I had to kind of feel the moment. And I think she knew I was an actress. And I didn't think about how they usually tell you when to look over.
Mm-hmm. There's no cues or anything like that.
You know, you don't just know. Like they have to tell you, like, okay, look left. You don't think that they don't hear you on TV. I'm so used to doing everything live.
Live, absolutely, yeah.
You know
it's a
what I'm
different
saying?
roster.
And so I just was feeling it. And I'm like, and when you dial, it makes me smile. I tune out the world. And when I looked over, I'm like, this is a part that might seem dope to look over. And I just looked over without her telling me. And she goes, cut, what are you doing? She started screaming at me. And I'm just like, I'm sorry. I've never acted before. I didn't know that I'm supposed to wait on you to tell me. So she goes into another take. The take that ended up going on the show
was the first one?
Was the part that I subconsciously. So afterwards, she
felt
apologized
natural
to me though, and that was really dope for somebody of this caliber.
To apologize.
Because I just felt like, oh man, I'm never gonna work in showbiz again. Oh. And she was just like, I'm sorry, you know, for earlier. It was Thanksgiving. Everybody wanted to go home. We had been shooting for all day. So it was cool. It was a great experience. I would definitely love to further my acting career.
If you could pick an actress out right now, who would play you in a Bobbi Storm biopic?
Dang. In a biopic, who would play me? Because some girls I'm thinking of, but they got this long hair that's getting in.
But listen, they'll cut it off for the role.
I know they can cut it off for the thing. You know what's crazy?
Go ahead.
This gonna sound. I can't say. I can't say.
What you mean? Come on, there's a name on it to be until you
but
want to see it.
she's like bigger than me.
So
I don't.
Does it matter?
Alicia Keys.
Okay. All right.
Or the chick that looks like Alicia Keys with the Robin Thicke's.
Paula Patton.
Paula Patton.
I see more Alicia Keys than Paula Patton, honestly.
Yep.
I could see that. Anyways, just to sit down. She got.
Because I look up to her, so that's why I'm like scared to say that. Like,
okay, no, you know what? I'm not even gonna go down that road. So what are you working on now? What's the projects? What's the situations now? What's in Bobbi Storm's life currently?
I have a song coming out with Fred the Godson that I'm very excited about called Boy Bye, and I think it's like age ain't nothing but a number vibe mixed with a little bit of like a Ashton Martin music. It's just really, really, really dope. And I think that with his track record, I didn't even know him like that or know his music like that. I walked in.
Frederico, you ain't know Fred?
I did not know Fred the Godson.
Wow, Fred.
Like,
that's crazy.
I walked in because I'm not from New York.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not huge on like the rap game like that. Like, and so I walked in on a session with Heat Makers at his studio, and I saw somebody sitting over there with some jewelry, and I'm like, he looked like he a rapper or something. So anywhere I go, you know, I on the drop of a dime, I sing, I market myself. So I started playing Lazy Love, and he takes his coat back off after he was about to leave, and he like, who is that? And Arsonist is like, that's her. And so I'm like, I got a record that I think a rapper would sound great on, and I play Boy Bye. He like, nah, before I can't even afford you anymore, I'm going to get on that. And he came in the next day at noon, and he bodied that record.
Yeah,
Like,
Fred the Godson is known to do some heavy.
from his tone to his bars
Absolutely.
and now I'm just a never-ending fan. And I believe with his record in New York, his track record in New York, and the way the radio responds to him and his fans, I think that this will go pretty far and lead people to the rest of my music as well.
How long you been in New York?
On and off 8 years.
What made you take the leap to New York?
It was between New York and Cali, and I came out to New York for the summer for maybe a month, and I was like, I can't stand this, because I had just gotten a car and I was in Harlem, and I got 6 tickets in 1 month, and I was like, I'm not gonna pay a note on this new car for it to stay at my family's house. So
What kind of car was it?
a Hyundai Sonata.
Okay, go ahead.
And so I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna go back there. I even left the tickets standing there, like, I just have a warrant there, because that was struggle time at that. Right now I'm good. I'm eating.
Listen.
But back then was struggle time. So I was like, you know what? Them tickets gonna stay right there. I ain't going back to New York. So if they looking for me, they gonna have to come a long way, you know? So I went back to Detroit, and during that time, it was just one of those situations where it was like, all right, well, if I hate the place and it's cold and it's not, having me trotting around, I'm still young, so I want to think smart. And if I really want to get some work done, I need to go somewhere where I won't enjoy fun in the sun and just go. So I got my cat and my dream and just drove out here. I was calling people on the way here.
That is the craziest shit I ever heard in my life.
I was calling people on the way here because I didn't know anybody here. And I was calling people, asking them.
So you mean to tell me you had a choice between the fun and the sun in L.A. and the beautiful people and the Hollywood and all that, and you chose dirty, grimy-ass New York City, guy?
Everything is about sacrifice.
But
it's closer to home where I can hop on the road and you got to think, if I'm struggling and broke, the chances of me getting a ticket home if something happens with a family member or something versus me hopping in my car and figuring out how to get some gas and drive home to my family is a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I can appreciate and respect the fact that you knew yourself well enough to be like, you know what? I ain't gonna get too much. Yeah, I ain't getting too much done out in the sun and the fun.
Out in the sun and the fun.
Yeah, I got you. I understand that. Bobbi Storm is in the building. Just to sit down with your guy, I'm easy. So, Star. You got the project out.
Yep.
What's Bobbi's personal life look like? You don't got too much time to yourself?
No, honestly, I got expectations that I build along the way of teaching myself my worth. And
meaning?
That means that if I have nobody else, I didn't grow up with my stepfather, him and I have a great relationship now. But during that time when we first met, you're trying to give them.
You're not my daddy.
You're not my daddy.
Yeah, I got
you know
a
what I'm
couple
saying? So you can't really appreciate things until later on and respect
absolutely.
them, And so I didn't really, my father was murdered when I was younger, so I didn't really grow up with a father teaching me my worth. So I had to just teach myself. And my mother is not the go out, and she don't even want to go anywhere without GPS around the corner.
Gotcha.
So she's not I'm the complete opposite when it comes to just venturing out and just being spontaneous. So I've lived alone a lot and have to teach myself my worth and what I deserve. And you go into different situations and you see this guy opens up the door for you. Oh, I didn't even think that was something. What you doing? I'm supposed to walk through here after you open. It's just I'm supposed to walk on the inside of the street because I usually walk on the outside in case I got to run from somebody trying to kill me on the inside. Things like that. So you just teach yourself your worth after a while, and my expectations have grown teaching myself my worth, and I can't expect things that are unreasonable from somebody when I'm not at that level yet. So if I'm walking down the street, I can't get mad at somebody hollering at me that's walking as well. You get what I'm saying? If I'm on the train, I can't get mad at somebody hollering at me that's on the train as well. How can I expect a man with a car if I haven't even gotten a car myself? How can I expect a man, you know what I'm saying? So if I have these expectations, I gotta wait until I build myself to where I'm surrounded by more to pick from the barrel that have a little bit more of what I'm looking for.
Heard you.
And I done took care of enough niggas in my life. So that's pretty much what it boils down to. Somebody need to take care of Bobbi.
Woo! See, I like that talk.
So I'm having fun right now. I bagged somebody on the train on the way over here, little aquamarine-eyed model. I'm sharing Happy Sweeties Day to me.
So what's your type, Miss Bobbi?
I don't discriminate. White men are intimidated by me. I've realized, because I sing for a living. I'm in a corporate. Right after this, I'm going to sing for somebody's wedding, and white men never holler at me unless I got a wig on.
Yeah, but you know they like that European long hair look.
And the white short hair just looks a little bit too much like I'm scared.
But you good in the hood though.
I'm good in the hood. Yeah, they be looking when I walk. They be looking.
Who's light skin over there? Look light skin.
Who that?
I would love to hear you sing, but I know you said you were a little under the weather.
All right. I don't like to make excuses, so. We used to be crazy in love, touch on a daily love. Now it's just maybe love. I don't want it, and I don't need it, 'cause I want the crazy in love. Beyonce and Jay-Z love. Now it's just maybe love. I don't want it, I don't need it. That lazy love.
Woo! And that's how we end the motherfucker. Jesus Christ. Thank you for coming. Bobbi Storm in the building. Look into the camera and tell them how to get in contact with you, the Instagrams, the emails, and how to work with you. That's amazing.
My name is Bobbi Storm. Most of my social media is BOBBI_Storm, but you can just Google me by just typing in my name. All of my music comes out everywhere. That record as well, Lazy Love, and it has an amazing video to match that has Jay-Z and Beyonce in it, the Currys in it, and the Obamas in it. And we got to get those views up, and I'm heavily active on my Instagram. And if you see me out somewhere, shout me out, dare me to sing. I don't care when and where. We gonna get this going, and I need as many storm chasers as possible.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bobbi Storm. It's the sit down.
Shout out M-Easy and tune in to the sit down.
Doesn't do it easy. That's what I'm doing.